So my name is Jonathan. I'm 29 years of age, a student of Sheffield Hallam University, currently studying automation and robotics. Been here for 3 months, 2 months, is it? How many months have we been here? 2 months?
Okay, yeah, 3 months.
3 months, yeah. Yeah, we're doing this video together just because it's a long story, but you get to know it over the course of the interview. Yeah, so that's about me. I'm Jonathan, and I'm single. Yeah.
I'm Peter. I'm studying electrical electronics at Sheffield Hallam. I'm 23 years old. I'm also a healthcare assistant on the side sometimes. Yeah.
Looking for property was, we ran through a whole lot of properties actually.
Yeah.
We made over 50 phone calls or something together. Just because of, obviously, apart from the pandemic situation and people not looking to accept tenants and stuff. For me, it was, I needed a bigger space for my room, at least. People who are more responsive, the landlords or agents who are more responsive to problems when they come up. They could answer your questions or solve your problems just because you are their customer. So they should treat you in that light and provide the best services they can provide. So yeah, this was a thing for me, and obviously the rent. Yes, like I mentioned, the halls of residence were too expensive for the kind of space we were getting, and the customer service wasn't great. So this was something I was looking out for. Obviously, the house now that we're doing this interview in, which we're currently living, is in excellent condition. So that was the thing for us too. The condition of the place, how it looked. Is it a fair price that we're paying?
Yeah, to be honest.
Was the proximity to shops, and that's what sold me too, the proximity to shops, and if I could get my basic essentials, around the area instead of going far distances or getting the bus to go to Tesco or wherever the big shops are.
To be honest, for the house we're getting, the rent is like top notch. Everywhere, shops are very accessible, and I think that during the whole pandemic thingy, Monica and Elite's properties, they handled the viewing excellently with a 3D viewing. So without even coming, you could see the whole property. Other people would just post bare weird pictures. You'd be like, what's happening over here?
Sure.
Yeah, and they'll take it in a way that the rooms look way bigger than they actually are.
Yeah.
So before I even came, I knew what I was expecting.
We had an idea.
Yeah, of what I was expecting.
What to expect.
Yeah. So when we came, they told us everything. Yeah, and then the security checks. So at least with the security checks that she did, I knew that I wasn't going to be in a house with weirdos or sketchy people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that they handled it very well.
Yeah, true. It's just the whole experience so far has been
seamless.
Amazing, seamless, whatever the adjective you want to use. And our lawn was mowed.
Yeah.
Finally. It's fine. Chill out, man. It's summertime, it gets really hot, and it's just chill to come sit down on the lawn and just, think if you want to think. Aside from the house being of a good quality, we have huge space out back that we could use to do if I want to do, just relax or do stuff that I want to do and stuff, yeah.
So moving here, Monica has done everything that she promised. We even have a cleaner coming over every 2 weeks. she comes to do the fire alarm, and she doesn't just come to do the fire alarm. She'll ask us how we're getting along, how is the house, do we have any problems every single week. So
yeah, she's really concerned about the comfort of her customers.
Yeah,
so
legit.
Which I think in doing this sort of business, being an agent, let's say agent, I think that's the paramount thing. As long as the customers are living up to their responsibilities and everything, I think it's only best if they have the best service they can get, which is checking up on them regularly, which she does every other week or every week, as the case may be. So this is, I mean, we have had a lot of good laughs where she's dancing. Even, yeah. So,
yeah, no,
amazing experience.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she's a good dancer or not, but yeah, I mean, well, it's
but she treats us like family, so yeah. And with that, you feel like you belong, you feel protected. If you have a problem, you meet her, you can reach out to her and then she replies immediately.
Instantly,
yeah. So even when we had a problem with the neighbor, she and we told her, like, the very next day, she replied to us and she came over and she tried to meet him and talk to him. She even told the landlords, and that within like 2 days or 1 day, the whole issue was resolved. Yeah, so basically, she cares. That's hard to find in some places, because some of my friends, their landlords were like, whenever there's something wrong with the house, they'll be like, we'll check it out, and then they never come. Like the other guy, a friend of mine, he had a problem with the what's it called, the fire thingy, the fire alarm. And the landlord was like, they say it's compulsory for houses to have fire alarms, and he's like, it's not. Who does that? So basically, whenever you tell her something and you have a problem, she'll endeavor to make it as seamless, to solve the problem as seamless and as fast as possible.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think my first problem here, apart from the neighbor, obviously, which he has talked about, was the Wi-Fi. I do a lot of things with internet, and there was the Wi-Fi, the router was placed somewhere else, which is pretty far from my room, so I wasn't getting good signal. But she, I mean, in her capacity, she was able to discuss with the landlords. The landlords provided a better solution, getting us a new router, installing it themselves even, and it's been, I mean, from the problems we've had, they've been solved in a timely fashion, which is also talking about loving your customers and all that, I mean, it's we've had very stellar experiences with Elite Properties and Monica herself, landlords too were great. I mean, we've seen them just once, but they're pretty, chill. We got along with them fantastically and all that, so yeah, I mean, so far so good. To be fair, moving in here, just talking about the atmosphere of the place and how the flatmates have been. Personally, I didn't know what to expect, it being that coming to moving in with strangers that you've never met before, and how the vibe would be if we're gonna connect or we're just gonna be strangers to ourselves living under the same roof. But so far so good. I mean, like, we have days where we just sit down and connect, and we're just trying to know ourselves better and connect with each other, trying to understand our differences and how we can best live in harmony. So far so good. It's been an amazing experience, I would say. I mean, it's way beyond what I expected, to be honest. I thought that moving and there would have to be in our own little corners, hiding, and it was just me and Peter in his room, Believe me, I actually thought that we would be in our little corners, you know.
Yeah.
We'll have our small, you know, we'll share the cooker into 4. You know, Jonathan, this is your slot. Use only that part of the cooker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, honestly, most agents, they just want to fill their houses. So they can just clump you up with people that are of like the age of difference is like really really high. So yeah, and you guys have nothing to relate with. Yeah. So I think Monica actually, or Elite Properties, they actually check our age. Like we're like in the age group, our age groups, and they put us with people.
The average age is 25. Yeah. Like if you combine all of us, yeah.
So they put us. I remember when we were supposed to get the last tenant, and she was like that she'll make sure she gets someone that is most likely like us, so that we can relate with. And we got Oliver, and he's exactly like us.
Beyond that.
So we all get along. But I think they actually care about how we relate, how the atmosphere in the house is going to be when it comes to tenants and everything. So we've had a wonderful experience.
Yeah. No,
but Emily is great.
Yeah.
Oliver is great too.
Yeah.
So
it's been an awesome experience so far. I would say. Yeah, I mean that you don't come home, you know, with a burden in your heart that you know you're not going to get good vibes today. I know, you know, if someone is not feeling good for the day, they're probably in their room, you know, something. But if they are good to go and they come down here, you know, you're usually like, Jonathan!
Yeah, exactly. So with the way the tenants were sorted out, the way they sorted the tenants out, so you know you're not coming back to a house. You feel like you're coming back to a home.
To a home, yeah.
So like I think that's one of the biggest things I love about it.
The house rules are not rigid, they're not to make you feel uncomfortable or anything like that. I mean, every society needs rules and regulations to enable you run effectively. I mean, it just keeps everyone in check, really.
Yeah, the rules are they're just really, really simple to follow. They're not like super invasive or anything. They're just like basically what's a common sense.
Yeah.
They say you have to keep your area tidy. Obviously you need to stay clean. Yeah, it's not about you must be home at so and so time, you must not go out. They're just really, really easy to follow. It's just so that we all get along.
Yeah. Used to live in the student accommodation, which had really small rooms. It was obviously in the city center, very close to the school. It was about a 15-minute walk. So yeah, I used to live in student halls of residence, basically student accommodation, and one of the primary concern was how small the rooms were. And I mean, they had this kind of, I'm not sure about asbestos roof or something like that, where I could not, it was cold, it was the winter, so I could not breathe properly, essentially. Made a couple of complaints. They didn't really fix it though, you know, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so like I was saying, the rooms were small and there was not enough space to move around, and you know, when the room is too small, it feels a little too congested. So that was a problem for me, coupled with the fact that we had, I don't want to use the word shitty, but the flatmate we had was not nice at all. Let me not go into details about that, but yeah, it was another story, you know. Yeah, so I mean, those were basically my grievances with the previous one, and they were expensive, very expensive.
Yeah,
you know, for that little space and everything. Yeah, so I mean that's my story with my previous accommodation. I know.
It was also like on the very first floor, sorry, on the very last floor.
Yeah.
So when you're with heavy stuff, getting up would be Jesus.
A drag.
Yeah. You have to go up like 8, 9 flights of stairs every single time. We tried to change rooms. Nah, they didn't let us.
Yeah, true. It was, I don't know.
And also, the key fob. His own never had a problem. Mine always had. The key fob, every single time, would lock me out of the house. I'm like, I paid my rent, so why is it not working? So every single time, I'd be stuck out in the cold. I had to run to the reception to try and get them to make it work again. Nah, it wasn't it at all.
Yeah, okay. So in summary though, I mean, it's just with our experience so far, with my experience so far, I would definitely recommend Eddie Club properties because it's been a fantastic experience. Let's not get into much stories now, but it's been a fantastic experience. So yeah, highly recommended. And if I'm looking for a next house, I'll come to Monica of Elite Club Properties. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would actually recommend too, because the whole process was so seamless and so simple. Because she told us that if we want to move in the very next day, we can do it, which was not a thing for other people. The security checks were so fast and all that. Yeah, and staying in the house, the how do I put it? The state of the house was excellent. The service is excellent. So I would actually recommend her agency to any other person. Or if I need a new place, I need to check with Monica first to see if they have any other properties around where I'm staying.
Definitely,
please.
definitely. Yeah.
I don't want to get no.
Definitely,
Definitely.
Any club.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Wanna have a little dance?
Yeah, let's have a little dance now, yeah.
Monica, come here.